Hi, thanks for joining us today for the community chat. We're going to be talking about mail safety during the holidays. I know a lot of you out there are sending and receiving mail. You're taking it to the post office. You're hoping it gets there and gets it in safe hands. So we have Tom Sylvester from the Postal Inspection Service that's going to be with us. He's the PIO. So I am going to bring him on. Hey, Tom, thank you so much for joining us. I don't know if you could just give us a brief introduction about what you all do and how you are working this holiday season to keep packages safe, to keep everything safe in terms of, receiving and sending out mail.
Sure. So we are a federal law enforcement agency. We are the law enforcement and security arm of the United States Postal Service. And our main mission is to protect the U.S. mail, its employees, and its customers. So we do that with a variety of resources and tools. We investigate any crimes that are related to the mail, and particularly mail theft and employee safety issues. Those are our two big hot topics and things that we concentrate the most on here at the agency.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on. I know a lot of people are worried about, having a holiday season where some of these things can occur. And I've seen on your website you do have the 8 tips for unhappy holidays that you can hopefully choose to, follow the right way to do things this season, whether that's in your community or, on your own front porch. And one of the relevant things that I just want to bring up at the beginning of why this is so important is, across the country, but in Hampton Roads, there has been issues of mailbox vandalism and theft. 9 boxes have been tampered with between October 23rd and 11th, and I know that the police department and you all are investigating that matter. But I did want to talk about sort of what are the best practices for people to follow in terms of staying safe during the holidays, both for the professionals that work for the USPS and the packages and making sure that they arrive safely.
Sure. So first of all, let me just say we move millions of pieces of mail a day. The vast majority of those do reach their destination safe and secure. So these incidents are, in the grand scheme of things, sporadic and don't occur that often. But I think the biggest thing is to not let your mail sit around. If you know you're getting packages, make sure that you're tracking those packages. You can sign up for text and email alerts on USPS.com. Keep track of them, know when they're arriving at your home, and make sure that you secure them as soon as they arrive or as soon as possible. You can even enlist a trusted neighbor to pick them up off your porch if need be. If you're going out of town, make sure that you hold your mail at the post office. Again, you can do that through USPS.com, so the post office will deliver to your home while you're gone, leaving all of your packages and mail out for anybody to come by and take them. And as far as outgoing mail, our collection boxes are by and large secure. We do have incidents where they are compromised. If people have issues with that or they're concerned with that, they can always hand their mail directly to a letter carrier or walk into a post office and hand it directly to an employee or deposit it inside the post office. For a little bit, that's kind of the best practice to secure your mail a little bit better.
Absolutely. And then in terms of, most people are sending gifts during these times that do have the potential to get stolen, unfortunately, or lost in transition. But on your website, you all really do highlight, gift cards, cash. What are sort of the best practices of sending those items or not sending those items via the mail and maybe, sending them online?
We suggest nobody ever sends cash to the mail. That's just not a good idea. The other stuff, like I said, the majority of it does get there safe and secure. We do have issues occasionally, and we investigate those instances. If anybody has any issues, we'd ask that they notify us either on our website or by calling our toll-free number, which is also on our website. That's 877-876-2455. So we can investigate those matters because we really want to get these people off the street that are trying to victimize our customers.
And what do you do, let's say you do send those items, you do send packages, you are sending gifts, you are sending it maybe perhaps to somebody that doesn't know that you're sending it to them, so it could be a surprise, it could be a gift. If that package does not make it to that person's door, and let's say their camera catches somebody stealing it, what's the best practice there to sort of get in touch with you all and figure out what happened to the package?
Again, that would be our toll-free number
Okay.
or the website. You can make a report on either. It will come to, it will be routed to whatever local office investigates that, and we will be in contact with you for follow-up if needed, and we'll investigate it. And
Okay.
all these that come in, you may think it's just a minor thing, but it could be something related to a bigger investigation we're working, and your little bit of information could help us solve a fairly large case. So I'd encourage anybody who has any issues to contact us.
Sure. So, in addition to contacting you all, one of the things that you all do talk about is a couple tips as to how to protect your mail. Could you go through some of those? I think you mentioned advertise your vacation, double checking, what items you're able to ship, and some of those tips.
Yeah, I think I went through most of them as far as handing your mail directly to a letter carrier or a person at the post office for outgoing mail. Not letting your packages sit around. If you have a particular problem in your neighborhood and you can't find a trusted neighbor, you could also always open a PO box at the post office to where we will keep your package for you until you can get to the post office, check the PO box, and pick it up. Uh, Putting mail holds in for your stuff so it's not being delivered while you're gone, things of that nature.
Absolutely. And then the other big part of this that I want to talk about is cyber crimes right now. I think people do get targeted, whether it's for charity, whether it's for gift card sending via email, or from text messages that are scams from USPS or other services that are saying, track your package here or something like that. Can you just talk about the cyber issue of it?
Sure, we see that a lot. If it's something, number one, with a lot of these scams, if it seems too good to be true, it is. And secondly, don't click on text messages or links in emails or anything else of that nature that you're not expecting. If you're getting something that you're not expecting, odds are it's some type of phishing text or email that's trying to steal your information. So I would avoid uh, clicking on any of those links or emails at all costs.
Absolutely. And then the one service that the USPS offers, and I'm sure helps people know what's coming in or out in terms of seeing what is supposed to be coming to your mail, is the informed delivery service that you all have. Is that something that you highly recommend in terms of people knowing what is coming in, especially during this season?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. That's part of knowing what's coming to your house and keeping track of it. It's a service I personally have. It's a great service. You get it in your email. You get an email every day of what should be coming to your house. So you know what should be in your mailbox, what should be on your doorstep. So if it doesn't arrive, you can start making inquiries about it.
And then, in addition to informed delivery, and I think that would solve the problem, right, of somebody receiving a package they might not know is coming to them. It could be a gift. You are seeing that come in that email with either a scan or a tracking number. But I did want to ask about is, what are some of the items, too, that you should avoid shipping in general, that could be flammable? They could be other things that might put postal workers in danger. Are there any items like that that people should avoid sending during this time?
Yeah, we have a whole list of it on our
Okay.
website, USPS.com. But flammable items, like you mentioned, alcohol cannot be shipped. Uh, there's certain things with lithium batteries. There's a detailed list on our website. It has all the resources you need. So I direct anybody who has any question on whether or not they can ship it to go ahead and go to our website, or you can inquire at your local post office when you're going to ship things as well. They're very helpful at the counter about that.
Absolutely. And then, in terms of what's happening in Hampton, but also in other places, I did want to ask, what should you do if you do see trouble in terms of, maybe you mentioned as well a local worker that, might be getting into trouble with someone in the community? I know that people are probably scouting out post office trucks, to see, what's in there. I mean, have there been issues with violence, and how do you handle that in terms of the postal workers?
So that's one of our big priorities is preventing violence against our postal workers, and that's a serious crime that can get you substantial federal time if you assault or commit a crime of violence against a postal worker. They are a federal employee. So luckily, we're pretty lucky in this area that we haven't had a lot of issues, but we are constantly on the lookout for that kind of stuff. And if any customers or any member of the public sees anything suspicious or needs to report anything to us, like I said, that 877 number will route you directly to your complaint directly to a local inspector. We'll look at it and follow up as needed. And our website, and let me clarify, our website is different than the USPS.com website. We have our own website, USPIS.gov, as in U.S. Postal Inspection Service. There's resources as far as fraud and mail theft and different crimes that we investigate there as well, and consumer protection things on our website. You can also make reports on our website for these type of things.
And then the one last question I have in terms of packages or things getting delivered to your door, not everyone is going to be home during the day to receive these packages. Not everyone might be home. They might be traveling to and from families' homes during the holidays. What's the best practice in terms of getting those boxes off your door quickly? I know that another way is making sure that you have signature selected, on the packages. But is there, is that a big thing or proponent that you all think that people should have? I know you said hold mail. I know that you said maybe ship it to the post office or to a shipping service if that's an option. But is that the protocol typically, just to make sure that you are requesting signature on your items?
So not everything has a signature component to it, but if that's an option, then yes, that would be a good option. But the biggest thing again when you're gone is that hold mail, because even if you have signature verification, if you leave town for a week, they're only gonna try to deliver it a certain amount of times, and then they're gonna return it to the sender when you're not there. So after a certain period of time, so putting that hold mail request in through USPS.com, it'll go to your local post office. They will not deliver your mail while you're gone, and then you set an end date. And when that end date comes, they'll deliver everything they've been holding for you. So that's really the best way to go about it, so you're there to receive all your items.
Right. So just the preparation, get ready ahead of time so that you don't have the issue. But if they do, go to your website, call the number, and get in touch with you all, even if it's minor, right? So it doesn't need to be a large scale item.
Correct, because you just never know how small the item may be or how insignificant you think it may be. It could be a small piece to a big puzzle that we're looking at.
Absolutely.
So
and it could also link to other, if it's in a neighborhood, it could also link to other issues, maybe at your neighbor's door, somebody across the street.
Absolutely.
Well, I think we went through all of the big tips, and again, I know that there is that resource available online for 8 tips for unhappy holidays on your website, and also a list of contact information, everything, so we can link that to make sure that people have the right resources to go to. But is there anything in terms of preparation or best practices for holiday shipments or receiving that that you would really like to share? I know that we covered most of the top tips.
Yeah, no, I think we covered pretty much everything that'll minimize any risk of becoming a victim and during the holiday season with your packages going.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Tom, for joining us. I really appreciate it. And then we'll be sure to give updates on the Hampton investigation as we get them back as well. I'm just gonna turn it over just to make sure we don't have any questions in our chat right now, but I think you answered everyone's questions, and I, again, will link the website and the phone number so that everyone has that information available. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us at the Wavy Digital Desk for our community chat this week. If you have any questions about the information, please be sure to message us in the chat and we will get those questions answered. If not, we will send you to the right resource. Thank you so much.